Alright, so you may wonder what we're going to do with this. We have a cooler, and we have a bunch, well, several tools, a piece of glass, an aluminum pan, some cupboard covering that you put inside cupboards that are messed up that you don't want to replace yet. That's what I always say anyway. And then I have a light that you use for chickens when they're babies. Little brooder light. And then we have us a cooler here. Doesn't matter what size cooler you want. This one's just an old cooler, styrofoam. But we're gonna make a chicken egg incubator because the woman wants one, so that means make one now. Alright, so we're gonna get going on it. Here we go. Incubator. Because she needs an incubator. Okay, you ready? Enough with all the funny stuff?
Yeah.
Something? You got me on film, you ready?
Alright, hold on. Okay.
You starting another one?
What are you making today, Teddy? Are you making an incubator? What's it for? Is it for the eggies? Yeah? Wanna say hi?
Hi.
Here we go, let's get started because that woman wants this thing done today, not tomorrow. Alright, so first thing we need to do is we need our light socket out of this so we can use it for a heating element for the incubator. First, all we gotta do is take all this stuff off that we don't need. Take this thing out here. Don't need that. Don't need this thing. There we go, don't need that. Don't need this part either. And this part screws in there. Alright. And on this one you have to unscrew the connections. You can see those on the back. So you can get the wire loose. First we're going to take the rest of this off. Here we go. Remember, black will be on the center one. Always tell yourself something like that so you know which wire goes where. So you don't hook it up, plug it in, and fry it. And have to start all over again. I've never done that before, just telling you people that have never done something like that. Don't try it. It doesn't work very well. Alright, one more screw here. Oh, there we go. One of them's out. Hey, it's loose. Woohoo! Alright. Yay, we got that apart. So we take all of our stuff we don't need. And we get it out of the way. Keep the stuff we do need. Because we know we want this. And we know we want it to go into there. So, alright. Next step. Take your cooler. You figure out where you want to put your window in this thing. And since we want the kids to be able to see it when it's sitting there, we're going to put it like this. We're going to put our window in here. So what you need to do is you need a piece of glass. You can usually get these out of a picture frame, or in my case I already had it. It was cut out for something else, but we won't talk about that right now because I'm still a little sad about taking it out of that project. But it's okay. So you get your window situated where you want it on this cooler. And what I'm going to do to make life easy was take a couple of quick measurements to make sure we're playing on the same page here. We'll just make it the same distance down. There we go. About a ½ inch. You can make you a couple marks. That way the window isn't crooked. Of course, it needs to be a little bit crooked. Otherwise, it wouldn't be human, would it? Alright, so here we go. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark around this window. Or this piece of glass. It's not a window yet. And Teddy is playing some awesome music for me. Okay, here we go. So, you have it marked out. Now what we're gonna have to do, we're gonna have to cut through this. It's really thick. So you're gonna have to have a razor blade or a nice cutting device. This one's nice because I just put a new blade in it. And what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to cut inside this line, because if you cut it the same size as your glass will just fall right through there. So what I think I will do before I get to cutting and acting crazy is I'll come a half an inch inside all the way around. And what I'll do is I'll just make a couple marks. I'll make 2 marks on each side, half inch. That way the glass, I'm not gonna put the glass on the inside of this thing anyway. I'm gonna put it on the outside and tape it on. So I'm not gonna have to worry about it fitting inside of anything. So I'm just gonna do about a half inch all the way around. So once you get 2 marks on each side, you just make some marks. Be nice to put 2 on that one. There we go. So you just move it like that, get to where you need to be. Then we'll make our mark over here. Music mode. And we're on music mode today.
Nope, activity mode.
Activity mode. That sounds like it might be a little quieter, Teddy, but Teddy likes whatever mode she's pushing. All right. So if everybody look at that, you can see how I have my outside square and my inside square. I'm gonna cut out the inside square, so when I lay my glass over this, it'll still have this outside edge right here for the glass to be up against, and then I'm gonna put my tape around the outside. A lot of people will spend a lot of time, cut this in, inlay the glass up flush, waste of time really. It's an incubator, it's not like a woodworking project. So once you have that, you're gonna have to cut this. And what I'm gonna do, so I know where the cut marks are on the inside, because my blade is not long enough to go all the way through, as you see. So what I'm gonna do is in every corner, I'm gonna take a drill bit and I'm just gonna put this all the way through. Look at that action of that drill going there. Look at that, perfect. Boom, 1 hole there. And oh, this makes a real big mess. So if your woman wants you to make an incubator, make sure you do it on the dining room table. And then that way when you make the mess, maybe she won't make you do it real quick next time. So if you make a little bit of mess, you might get out of a task. I don't know. Might work for some of you, probably not me though. So we're just gonna push that through. We turned it a little bit, you know, a little drilling action. I could have put this in the drill, but it would have made a bigger mess. So I'm just doing it by hand. I don't want to get too crazy with it. All right, so we got our holes in there. And what that did is that put 4 holes inside here that you can't really see, but they're in the corners. So if I draw a line from one of those holes to the other, and one of those holes down to the other, I'll have the same square on the inside as I have on the outside. So I'm gonna do that real quick before I get too crazy. And she gave me a ruler that's too long. So what you have to do in this case, since you're a fine craftsman and you really know how to use your hands, you can put your finger up against that. See how I did that there? And if you hold it steady in the right spot, you lock up against the thing you're working with, and you just hold your finger, and then need a little bit steeper angle in there so you can make a mark that you can see. And as soon as you do it, you just ride your hand. Look at that. That's pretty straight. That doesn't happen all the time, people.
So precise.
A little bit precise, but... Oh, look at this. There's not a straight edge on either end of this. Oh wait, this one does. It's got a pokey stick thing. So for this side you can use a ruler. We'll zoom in with the other camera so you can see what I'm doing. But what I did is I'm drawing the same same stuff on the inside as I did on the outside, so I can cut it out, because my blade's only going to go halfway on the outside and maybe halfway on the inside. We hope it goes more than halfway both ways, so I can take it out. Otherwise, we're going to have to do something even crazier. Look at that, freehand. You know that's going to be wrong. That's alright though. Okay. Can you see the inside box? Okay. Everybody can see, blah, blah, blah. Alright, now we're going to put it like this. We're going to get our handy dandy razor blade tool. Be very careful with one of these. Never cut toward yourself, like this. And then your hand slips off, you cut yourself open, you see your guts. You don't really want to see those because it's really gross. And you won't get anything done. You end up all your time at the emergency room, and that's usually about 3 hours of your time that you don't want to use. For that, anyway. So just make a light cut. If it starts dragging and when you're cutting, if you feel a bunch of resistance, don't go as deep. Just take a little bit at a time. Just keep going over the same place until you get the whole depth of the blade down in it. Now see, this cut's going to be pretty much all the way down into there. Okay, so there's one thing. Repeat. Don't try to go all the way through it the first time. The slower you go, the straighter the lines will be. It'll look decent, because people are going to be looking through this hole with these eggs, waiting for these chickens to hatch. And if you do a crappy job cutting this hole out, you're going to be able to see all of it. And then half the time the people are going to be going, look at those eggs. I wonder when the chickens are going to hatch. And the other half of people are going, why did Wade cut that so crooked? It looks like hell. So just do a little bit at a time. Here we go. I mean, if you're doing a project like this and you actually cut yourself and you start bleeding, I mean, don't stop filming, because you can always use that as extra footage. I just don't want to be the footage of the day. I got a couple other things I'd like to do today, so I don't want to spend all my time at the ER, get my fingers sewed back on. So just go slow, make you some nice cuts. And we're getting there. Let's keep working our way around the box. And remember, cut out the inside one. If you cut the outside one, you're going to have to find a bigger piece of glass to put over it. Or you're going to have to do something totally different that you don't want to do. Basically start over, and nobody wants to start over after they get this far. Okay. Alright, so we've done all our cutting. Alright. We got a pretty good cut on it. Now we're going to switch over. We're going to go to the inside. Same thing. We're just going to go lightly over our marks. Inside, a little bit difficult. Kind of got to go from different angles to get the cut you want. I'm pretty sure I could feel, there's less resistance, so I know I'm probably really close to my cut from the other side. Because it was easy to cut. That's how you can usually tell. And look at the mess I'm making. Isn't this awesome? This will get the woman wound up.
Oh my goodness.
All you gotta do, guys, when you do stuff like this, listen, here's the answer when they say, would you like an incubator? And I go, what? You need incubator for what? You have like 200 chickens. Well, it might be a nice project for Teddy and I, and the kids would like, all the kids would like to see them hatching out and stuff. I'm like, oh, okay. But, here's what you do. You just say, yes, ma'am, you get all the stuff together and you go for it. So that's what we're doing. just avoid all the upfront arguing or tasseling back and forth. Yeah, someday, just get it over with. It's like a Band-Aid. If you have a Band-Aid on your hairy arm right here and you got a sore in the middle, you don't just pull on it a little bit at a time. You grab onto it and you rip it off there. So, yes, ma'am. When do you want it built by? And we'll get on it. All I got to do is pick up a couple things at the store. But only thing I had to pick up at the store, I found all of this stuff around the house, except for this. You got to have one of these. It's the temperature and the humidity. And this is going to go, they make these different. Some of them, okay, they sit on a counter in the the sensor you put inside here, you put it outside. This one works standalone. So when we put it in there and we look through this window, we'll be able to see it and we'll be able to check our humidity, and we're gonna have a little tray in here for water and stuff to keep that up. But anyway, I just want to show you this and some 40-watt light bulbs. Compliments of Walmart. I had to get that for them. I was there and I just had to have it because it said great value on it. Maybe sometime Walmart might want to hook me up with some stuff. I mean, these things aren't very expensive. Little aluminum foil pan, you know, little pack of light bulbs. You know, you get Walmart mentioned on a video. You know, it might be kind of nice. I don't mind mentioning people. You know, I like Walmart. Oh, the best thing is when I went to Walmart to get this. Okay, this, and I almost forgot these because I knew I had the light, but I didn't have a 40-watt light bulb. So I go to Walmart to get these two items. Okay, when I pull up there, you know how they always go, "Sir, did you find everything you need?" I go, "Oh yeah, hell yeah, I did." I kept putting stuff up there. She kept bringing it up, and when she gave me my receipt, it was $322. I was like, yeah, I guess I did find everything I needed. Of course, you know, I did like a little grocery run, you know, put a couple things together. You don't want to waste time, so you might as well pick up a few things while you're out. You know, got part of the groceries done. Another thing, guys, you want to do stuff like that for your women every once in a while, okay? I give relationship advice too. Just a little here and there. I don't want to give away all the secrets. Probably the only ones you want to know are the ones that work anyway. And if you try to, you know, help out around, you know, maybe do the dishes every once in a while, maybe run that vacuum cleaner. You know, vacuum cleaner's kind of fun sometimes, you know. It's got a motor in it. It's got wheels on it. You know, that's sort of like stuff guys like. All right, so what we're going to do now, check this out. So, still pretty solid. It's not giving up. So what we're going to do next is we're going to cut some relief in this. I'm going to go corner to corner. Just get a relief cut down the middle, and you get some more of these little shavings off. Yeah, you get to make a little bit of mess. It's kind of fun. But I think what I'm going to do for sure is I'm going to go near the edge where I cut. I'm going to cut across this, because I can get this piece out. And once I take that piece out, see how that gives me a little bit more? I can go a little deeper with the blade. And of course, why not make a bigger mess? Because that's half the fun of doing a project anyways, making a big mess. There we go. Oh yeah. That's working. That's working right there. This is the part where you don't want to get frustrated and go crazy, and you know, I've seen people get frustrated and throw stuff before. That's not a good idea either. Just cut a little more out. Then you get a little more depth on your cut, and we cut it from the inside too, so we should be right there after this. Well, you just do the best you can. Like this one's taking a few cuts. Just try to work that piece out. This would be what we would call probably a relief cut too. We're gonna relief that right out of there. There we go. All right. Now, as soon as I got that out, I can see light. So if you can see light at the end of the tunnel, you're doing good, right? So here we go. So we're gonna cut it across here a couple times. If you notice, I'm not pushing hard. I don't want to cut myself, no ER visit, you know, all the goodies. And then we just cut across this a few times. She's still hanging on by a little bit. Not by much, though. Ta-da!
Yay!
Comes right out of there. Just like that, people. Alright, so depending on how you can stand stuff or you can't stand it, this is going to be good. Just clean a little bit of the boogers up there. Look at that. Yeah. Dump a little more on the table, make it look like it's snowing, which is on the way here before we know it. Alright, voila. Window. Window. So, when you have your window, this is what we did it for, folks. We're gonna put that piece of glass on there like that. Look at that. You'll be able to see inside the box what's going on with the eggs. And the temperature gauge, which is going to be very important too. It's going to be sitting in here too. So here, that'll kind of give you an idea. Temperature gauge is going to sit like that. You got your little window here, keep the heat in. We're going to have the lid on it. We're going to have the light coming in from the side like this, like that, boom. That's where it's going to be. So since we got that in there, we're not going to put the window in just yet because it's glass. And I'm sure I could break that by accident. But we don't want to do that. So what we want to do next, we want to figure out where we want to put the heating element, i.e. the light bulb. We want to figure out where we want to put that bad boy in at. And this is going to be, I'm thinking we'll put it right in the, probably right in the center is probably a good spot. I don't know, probably right about there. A little bit higher. I wouldn't say in the dead center, I'd put it a little bit high. Because you don't want it too close to the lid when the lid shuts. And the lid on this is, it's got a little bit right there. See, that meets up with this. So this part right here is flush with the top of that. So we know that's exactly how much room we have. Flush with this. So we gotta make sure our light bulb fits. Don't pull an amateur mistake. An amateur mistake will be putting this thing way up here, then you put your light bulb on, then you try to put your lid on here, and your lid won't shut because it keeps hitting the light. See? So you want to make sure you're down in there far enough with your light that you leave a little bit of room for the top. You want a little bit of gap from it too, because you don't want the light bulb to actually melt into your styrofoam. I don't think it'll start a fire, but it'll probably mess with it a little bit, make it a little bit softer than it needs to be. Alright, so we're going to put that right about there. I think that's a good spot for it. We'll do like a cross measurement. Let's see. It's about 10 inches on there. 5, basically 5 is the middle. That's the middle. I just made a dot where the middle of it is. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. I'm just going to put that down to the bottom flush so we get a semi-straight line. We're just going to make a little line right there. See how I did that, folks? I made a line approximately the middle. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a chicken incubator for the woman. Oh wait, yeah, it's almost perfect right in the middle. So that's where you want it. You want it down from the top a little bit. This we're gonna make a hole where this screws in to this styrofoam. It's gonna be amazing. But we're gonna put that right about there. And if you wonder where the light bulb's going to be, I mean, you figure the light bulb screwed in is going to be even with that. But this little lip right here is going to be the only thing that's inside here sticking out. So it's going to be like that. And that's how far your light bulb's going to stick in there. You got a good picture of that, honey? Alright, so that's how far it's going to stick inside the box. Now, as you see, there's a little bit of gap right here. So this hole for this on the inside has to be this size. The hole on the outside has to be this size because this has to fit inside the hole and meet up with this and screw together for it to hold itself in there so you can plug your light into it. You know, just a little bit of basic physics stuff, I guess. Huh? All right, we'll put that light bulb there. All right, so we know it's got to be right here. Boom, boom, boom. I know you can't see what I'm doing. Here you go. We're going to put it right I like it right about there. So what we're gonna do, instead of, I was gonna mark on it, but I think I'll just push on it. Let's see if we get some kind of mark there. Oh, look at that. See that indentation I made in there? That's how big the hole needs to be on that side. So, you need to go, oh, look at that. You need to go exactly the length of the blade, see? That's how far that's gonna go in there at this size, but it needs to screw onto the other thing. So it's probably gonna be a-okay if I do it this deep. Because when I do the hole from the other side, it's gonna be bigger and it'll screw onto this and it'll hold it together. So, here we go. And now we have another hole to work in. And if you're building something, you should always have head, shoulders, knees, and toes in the background. With a kiddo playing. That's the way to roll. People say, wait, why on earth would you be making this thing? It's like, you know, kids need cool stuff, and this is a cool thing for kids. Alright, so remember the drill bit trick, guys? We're going to put that right in the middle. Right in the middle of where that is. Or as best that we can do. And we're gonna screw that into it. Just, if you don't know which way to go, it's always to the right with a drill bit. And if you're gonna take it back out and there's any resistance, you want to turn it left to get it back out. Or you can just be violent and just yank it out of there, but probably not the best way. And see, now we know where our socket part that's gonna hang onto our light needs to go. That's where this piece is gonna go. And see, this has a switch on it, folks. That way you can turn it on and off where you want. But this piece is gonna have to be countersunk into this. So on this side, the hole needs to be this big. As big around where this will fit inside. So we got our hole cut on the other side. And we're making a fine mess. We're doing a great job here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut. It's hard to show you guys what I'm doing, but I'm gonna crisscross and cut like pieces of pie, and I'm just gonna go back and forth, and I'm gonna get pieces of this out so there's actually a hole in here for that to fit through. Okay. We have a hole in the middle. We got a couple of lines going side to side now. Remember, we said the blade length is no problem, so we don't have to worry about doing it too much or not enough. Remember, guys, and when she says, someday I would like to have an incubator, that doesn't mean someday. That's girl lingo for start thinking about how you're gonna make it. Maybe, and looking at the people online that do this, I like some of the things from each video. So this is a weight-ized video, okay? Because I picked what I liked from all of them. I didn't find one in there that I went, oh man, that's the one for me. I wanted it to be, I don't know, somewhat my own. And I just didn't like the way some of them either used a plastic box or... I definitely wanted to use an old cooler because I had this old cooler laying around. Let's see how we're doing here. See that? That's where she's gonna be, right there. Alrighty, now we need to make our hole from the outside. We got a good start on that one. If you want to look in there, you can see. Feel a little bit going on there. Our little piece, we already trowel fit it. It fits down there and it pulls in a little ways. So on the other side, this is gonna have more teeth grabbed from the outside, so the hole's deep enough on this side already, okay? Because this is gonna go all the way through this hole, and it's gonna suck up tight to the inside of here. Now on the outside, the hole's gonna be bigger because this part fits over that and screws on, okay? So this actually has to go inside the box. So we need to pull those wires in there just a little bit. It's got gunk on there, it doesn't want to let it do it, so you just kind of got to bend them down out of the way. There you go. Then you take this thing, you put it over your hole you made with the drill. There's more than one way to do this, folks, so I'm just getting us a roundabout. We lined her up where that drill bit hole was right about in the middle of that. And we're just making us a mark all the way around that we can see and work with, just with a pencil. Actually, this is probably one of the kids' pencils because it's really big, but it's really nice for. It's nice for working on this because it's got a little bigger, easier to hang on to than a regular pencil. So that might be going in my toolbox later. I don't know for sure, but it might disappear. So, okay, so we need this thing to go in here quite a ways. So we're gonna go a blade link first and see if we link up with our other hole that we already made. Because we're gonna be halfway close, but we don't want this to go all the way through and hit that other part. It should be right about flush. If you look there, that's flushed up to this side. So probably what Wade did is he probably already made a little bit of error, but we're gonna make it work. Now what you want to do is you're going to cut some pie-sized pieces out of here. That way you can get everything out easy. It's not going to come out in one piece. That just is not going to happen. Alright, now we can start getting these pieces out. Once you get one piece out, then you can probably just kind of rip and tear a little bit. Whoa, there it is. There we go. Alright. We're going to see about making this inside hole. There we go. The good thing about styrofoam is it just kind of flakes apart, so if you need to take off just a little bit more, or make the hole just a little bit deeper around where you cut, you can just kind of scrape back and forth with a cutter. And you can get it to come apart, no problem. Now I need the middle part cut away here, but I want it the same size as this side, so I'm going to come on this side, and I'm going to cut from this side.
What, Teddy? It's making a mess?
Oh, yeah.
I know.
Just remember, only I can make a mess like this, Teddy. You'll get it.
Oh, thank you.
Mama, there's a pocket, Mama.
Mm-hmm.
It's that.
Teddy, we're making an incubator, right? Can you say incubator?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, your fingers.
See that? Even Teddy knows knife safety. Watch out for your fingers. Watch out for your fingers, folks. Because you don't want Teddy to tell you, uh-oh. Because that might be too late for your fingers. Might not be good. But here's what we're going for. We're going for this thing sticking in here a little ways like this. The other part mating in from the other side and screwing into it. We still lack a little bit. As you see, we got a little bit of a hole going there, but we don't want it as big as this. we're making it as big as this. So when we'll be able to screw this into the styrofoam itself, as long as we leave a little bit of this extra stuff on there. So we can't just go crazy cutting on it. We have to cut a little bit out at a time until we get it where we want it to be. Until that fits through.
Yeah?
Look.
Very nice. Is that going to clean up the mess?
If we need an excavator to clean this mess, we're in trouble, Teddy. Because that would be a big mess.
This way is a fatal.
You're right.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Alright, people. Let's see what we can do here.
Your excavator wants to help?
Oh boy.
A mess, Mama.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
I got it.
Good job, Teddy.
And you can see on this video, none of the threads are showing on our little piece that's inside there. So we need some of the threads because it has to thread onto this just a little bit for it to hang on nice. So it's gonna have to be a lot deeper than it is right now. But it's better than not. It's better than cutting too much off and then going, whoa.
She's by your foot cleaning up after you.
Alright. Careful, Teddy. Be careful. I'm kind of messy. Yep, this is how you make a mess. Alright. We're going to try this again, folks. We're going to take the
Okay.
part that the light bulb's going to be in, right? We're going to put it through the inside. It looks like we're getting there. Just need a little bit more. I got a bunch cut out on the bottom. I still don't think we could screw that on there yet. Let's see. Yes. All right. Bingo. We got it where we want it to be. All right. So,
Very good, Teddy.
we gotta make sure our mess.
Excavator did it.
Yes,
Very good.
Teddy. All right. What we have here is we have it ready to go. But before we can go to putting it all together, remember what we did at the first of the video is we undid these wires. So, very important. Does everybody remember where the wires went?
Hey, go over there on Mama.
I had Teddy telling me to go a different direction because
She wants to clean up after you.
she's trying to clean underneath my foot under the table. All right, so you know that the one wire, the black wire went in the middle. I remember that. So we'll hook up our white wire first. Boom. Can you see good? There you go. So we're gonna hook our wires back up. Now if you, for some reason, make a mistake, you can always take it back apart. We've all made mistakes in life before. Some of us a couple more than others. It happens. But But we know that the black one went on the middle. So we're pretty sure that when we plug it in, we'll get what we're looking for. Some light. All right, here we go. We'll put that bad boy on just like that. We'll make sure she's tight. Make sure the top one's tight. Good, good. Now, we push this up along the wire. We're gonna straighten that wire out a little bit, just like that. We're gonna feed this wire onto it. And then as soon as they meet in here, we'll keep pushing. We'll hold the other side flush. I don't know if you can hear that, but on these, that's rock on rock. Now I've already tightened it up enough that I can't pull it back apart. So now what I'm doing is I'm tightening it from the inside. Boom. Light switch, and this one comes with a on and off switch right here, which is really nice. That'll make it easy to use. All right, so we got that. I'll put the bulb in there for visual effects here. You can see exactly where it comes out to. So we have a light. Boom. This is where you find out if you did something right or wrong. Oh, look at that. It actually works.
Woohoo!
Yay!
All
So
right.
you hear that? You get a woohoo from the woman, you know you did good. Alright, so see folks, this is going to be on here. Fits on there just right. That light is going to warm up the inside. We're going to have our glass over this. We're going to do that next, but we're going to clean up a little bit of our mess first. At least on the inside of the box, because we don't want that to be going on it. Probably before we put I think our glass is going to be the last thing we do. So everybody sees the light, they see how it's in there. It's tight, secure, it doesn't move, good to go. I'm going to turn that off. Got a switch right there. So now what we need to do is we need to get our pan ready. Now we grab this pan. We don't need this plastic part, so you don't have to pull that. Just chunk that. Now you got to pull this out. I never understand what this stuff is that they use in the pan. It's like almost like boogers. It's really weird, but it does come off easy. And it didn't leave a mark on there, so that's always nice. All right, so we need to we're gonna take our light bulb back out and give that thing a little bit more turn here in a little bit. But we'll put our bulb back in here for safekeeping. Oh wait. All right, so we need this pan to sit down on the bottom here. It's almost the perfect size to sit in this, except, you know what, I might make it fit. I might just have to make that fit in there. But I like the way it fits. That's like a nice fit, right? Look at that. One thing is, these sides, it's not gonna have enough to let it slide down in there. I really don't wanna cut it unless I have to. So we're gonna try to, we're going to bend up these sides. We're going to bend everything in just a little bit. Just put your finger on the inside of this. You can manhandle it around a little bit. That's what I call it, because I am a man. So you just do it a little bit like that, each side. Then put it down in here. This is where you're going to have some troubles, because it doesn't want to go. But once you get it down in there, then you can just bend your sides back up. That'll help hold it where it needs to be. And it's all the way down in there, and we have a flush fit. Now, stuff like this happens. It makes you look really cool, but it doesn't always work that way. So you might, if you do one at home, you may have to take some of this and put it down around the edges so you have everything in there is flush. But I wanted to make sure that fit in there like that. Now I'm going to take it back out. You go, wait, why would you do that? You had it in there. Because you can't just throw your eggs in some water in a pan and expect them to hatch out. You gotta have something over the top of this. So that's where this stuff, old cabinet interior coverings, comes in. We're gonna cut enough of this to put over this bad boy. And then we're gonna tape it tight. So the eggs will sit on this above the water. The heat from the light's gonna make a little bit of moisture, get things going, get some humidity going in there. But we want this thing to wrap over both sides of this pan. So we'll put it right here, you can see. Probably, it's like wrapping a Christmas present, which I'm not good at, so. We'll say we're gonna cut it to there. Then we'll just, what you wanna do, you wanna get the nicest pair of scissors you can find that belong to your woman, and you wanna use them for this. Because women love it when you take their real sharp, nice, these are kitchen shears, right, honey?
Yes.
Okay, so you take their nice kitchen shears and you just take them, you cut whatever you want to cut with it. Because kitchen shears are tough. And I'm leaving myself plenty of room. I just picked a row right here. If you want to zoom in over here, honey. You just pick a row of dots and just keep going with those dots till you get to the other side. It doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be halfway straight. Just like that. So now we can get rid of that too. Here, Teddy. Something to hang on to. Alright. So, we want this to go over the top of this pan, right? So, let's see. We'll do it like a present. So if we do it like that, we'll do it over here on this side. And then I think we're going to stop for a commercial break. Is that right, honey? Okay, we're gonna stop right here and we'll be right back. All right, here we go. We're back from break. Found something I didn't like. If you can see this, I had to bend this up, the sides of the cake pan, which they were there to make this nice and easy to take out of the oven and stuff, but we don't have to worry about that now. But if you look at this pan, they stick up on the sides. It's not level with this. We want it all level because when we wrap our cabinet material over this, we want to wrap it real tight. And if we do it right now, see how the ends are up, and I want it to all be flat. So what I'm going to do, I went ahead during break and I got these. And you can cut. You could use your woman's scissors for kitchen shears, but you probably have to buy her a new set. And most time you don't want to buy them a new set because new sets, kitchen shears, probably pricey. Let's call it pricey. So we see this is level with that. So I just want to kind of come in here at this right in here. And I want to get it started. See there? I want it to be kind of close to that, somewhere right there. You want to just try to stay even with the lip. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it was sticking up a couple inches before it was just kind of in the way. Alright, so we got it like you want it. There we go. Now we can wrap it. We did clean up a few of the things, styrofoam things off the counter, but I'm sure we'll find more later. So what you want to do, put this thing in the middle of this. Let's see what we got to work with here. This where you'll probably want to do some trimming here and there, but we're going to give it. We're going to try to keep it really tight. So we're going to have to bend it over. Take it to about right there. What we'll do, I just have some clear tape, box tape. We're just going to put some of this on there. If you ever mess with one of these things, you know it's a pain in the butt, so you gotta be careful with this thing too, you'll hurt yourself. Get it where you want it. Just pull against these teeth right here. It's not very nice. I think I'd rather do it this way. Or use the kitchen shears. That's what she said. Use those kitchen shears, Wade. You're gonna hurt yourself. Alright, so we got that side done. Relatively tight, ready to go. Now we're gonna bring this side up. And we're gonna make this as tight as we can. You'll understand what this is all about here in a minute. Maybe I can give you a quick preview of what we're talking about here. See this? This is where the eggs are going to lay. The eggs are going to be on here, suspended above some water. There's going to be a little bit of water in here to keep your moisture right. The light bulb's going to heat everything, get the right temperature and the moisture. And to regulate that, you'll cut holes in the box, or you can set the light on a timer, or you could use a rheostat to make it where you turn the light down to make it cooler inside the box. And you go, Wade, why wouldn't you use a roll of gray tape for that? And Wade would say, that's a great idea. If you had some gray tape, that would be awesome. I don't have any. So we're making do with what we got, which is kind of what this project is about. Everything we've used so far pretty much came from the house. So to get it tied this way, we're probably just going to cut some of this out of the way using my favorite scissors, the kitchen ones that I don't get to use ever. Just kind of take a chunk out of here because we don't want it to overlap and get in the way. And this piece of plastic tape here has got to go too, because that's just going to be in the way too. We'll just cut it across there, and then we'll cut it back across this way. We'll do the same thing. I'll just show you what I'm doing here. So what I want it to do, I'll probably put a little piece of tape on that, hold those two little pieces down, and then I'm going to pull this tight, and I'm going to tape it across here. So a little bit there, a little bit to go. All right, here we go. So to save you guys pain, I went ahead and just wrapped this thing real quick. Taped it all on the bottom with the clear tape. You can use gray tape, clear tape, whatever kind of tape you got. I'm gonna wedge this in here so it's gonna hold a little, it's gonna be kind of wedged in here, so that's gonna help hold it too. All right. Remember when I said it's not gonna be perfect? It's not gonna be perfect, but we have us a place that'll rest our eggs and will hold our temperature sensor. Okay, that's gonna be like right there. I'm not gonna worry about getting that out yet. So let's go ahead and put in our window. So remember we cut this out earlier. We wanted to have that ready. We have our piece of glass. We already know where it sits on here. Remember I drew the box, so if you line it up with the outside lines where you drew it the first time, you don't have to draw any lines or do any measurements because you're right where you need to be. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take some of this tape and I am going to just use it overlapping quite a ways. We're just going to put it right over that like that to hold it. You're going to have to go onto the glass. I'm going to have to go on the glass a little bit more on this side just because I want it to go into that gap there. Then we'll put it right like that. All right, so we got it all cut. We just want to make sure we cover all the glass, rub it on the glass, make sure it's going to stay tight there. Around the outside parts, I would rather have it up against the glass a little bit. So I'm pushing it towards where the glass corner is, and then I'm going to fold it over at the top into this gap where the lid goes. That way it's out of the way. We have a little bit too much right there. So if you have a little bit too much, just kind of trim it off. Trim it however you want it. Like I said, it doesn't have to be perfect, it just has to be the way you want it. Doesn't matter what anybody else thinks, as long as you like it. And now, we have us a window. I use clear tape so it looks like you just, whoa, look at that, look what a great job Wade did. But, you can use whatever size cooler you want, whatever floats your boat. So then we have to rescue our bulb again. All right.
Mommy. That's right.
Lid. Lid's very important. This is going to be really sealed good because it's made for keeping things cold and using ice. That 140 watt light bulb is probably going to make the inside of this thing like 110 degrees. So we're going to probably have to make some holes in it to adjust the temperature, and then you can always cover it with a book or something. Just leave it offset over the hole, and you can keep moving it around to adjust how big of a hole you need in the top to release enough of the heat for it to work out. But I'm going to put the lid on. We're going to flip the light on. Boom. That's what an incubator looks like. Oh, you like that, Teddy, huh? Look at that, incubator. All right, so everybody sees that. So, Teddy, we have to have something in here to know what the temperature is, right?
Wow.
Teddy likes it. You guys at home
I
couldn't tell.
like it, Mama.
Mm-hmm, you do.
I think she likes it.
Wow.
That's where you're gonna put your eggs, and then they'll hatch.
Wow.
And get you some baby chickens.
Very nice.
All right, so let's put a battery in this, folks. But I think what we'll probably do is we'll put it right here on the back wall, so you'll be able to see it in there. So that's gonna be like that. That's gonna be like that. Now you go, wait, what was that? What's that for? I know everybody at the beginning is like, what's he gonna do with that hose? What could he possibly want to do with that? So what we're gonna do with this is you don't want to open and close this thing all the time. And if you have to add water into the basin in there to get your humidity where it needs to be. So we're just gonna drill a little hole in the corner here, and we're gonna put our water hose. We're not gonna put it on the same side as electricity because that's probably not a good idea. So we're gonna put it in on this side. So what I did is I've got a drill bit, the right size, close enough to this. It's a little bit smaller, and you always want to go smaller. You don't want to go bigger, because sometimes bigger will make a big mess for you. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drill a hole at an angle over here on this side where I want this to come in, and you gotta take consideration how thick the sides are, because if you come in from the side and you're too close to this corner, you're gonna come into this other piece, and you'll never be able to get the hose into the inside of the box where you want it. So just come inside the box a little ways like this. Take that out for a second. Is the light bothering you, or is that good? We're gonna do a drill at an angle like this, except we're gonna do it down here, down lower. So it'll go right into the corner of this, and we'll cut a little hole for it to go into there. So I'm thinking right there on the side, and we want it to go at an angle. And I'm just doing it with my hand. I have a drill over there, but I don't really feel like I need it right now. I'm trying to do this as easy as possible with small hand tools. Everybody's got it at home. If they want to follow these instructions, you can. Just don't forget to send me my $9.95 for my blueprint special. You know, if you watch the video, $9.95, you can make this. That's just my commission on it. So make sure you don't forget weight when you make yours. So I'll put that little hole there. So when you wedge this in there, it's gonna fit. It'll fit tight. Okay, you want it to go in there tight. You don't want it to be loosey goosey, because if it's all loose, then you're gonna have problems. But see, we came in right here, down the corner. See the part where I've got it in there? It's right here. Now we want it to go into this basin. So I gotta cut a little slit right there. It's gonna be about right there where it's going. So I cut a little hole right where that touched the cabinet material. I put a hole right where that plastic touched it. Now I'm wedging the plastic down in, and I'm gonna hold up on the stuff because I want it to go in there and I want it to hold. Okay. So as you see, I got it down in there a good ways. It's down on the bottom of the pan, so we can always add water, and I'll show you guys a little trick on that in a little bit. But for right now, we probably want to leave this thing a little long, right? So we're gonna cut it right about there. We're gonna do it this way. Boom. very thick plastic. You don't have to have any kind of plastic little hose will work. But you just want to make sure that you have it worked into your pan on the inside. And push it in there a little ways. And then on the outside, we'll just leave this hanging out right here, okay? Then you'll put your lid on. I know we're gonna have to cut holes for temperature, but give us a couple of minutes to clean up here. We're gonna hook up our temperature gauge. Maybe we'll put a little water in there and we'll see what it comes out to be. But there you go, folks. All right, so we know what goes there, so we know we need to put this one on here. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's a Velcro system. We just hope it sticks to our styrofoam. It's probably gonna be a one-time use. If we ever have to take it off, it's probably gonna have to be redone anyway. But it's kind of it's for hanging photos normally. And look at that, you can pick up the box by it now. And that's just a little bit of Velcro system action going on. All right, so if you wanna come in for a close-up, it sort of reminds you of carving a pumpkin. And it's almost that time of year. Let's see. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to turn this over to Teddy and Mama and let them throw some eggs in here, a little bit of water. Actually, we're probably going to run it for a while to see what our temperature gets to. So I've just had the lid on for a few seconds, but it was like 70 degrees. Why don't you look through the window there, Mama? Just come up in for a close-up and see what that temperature says. What's it say now?
It's 75.
75. It already went up 5 degrees and I just put the lid on.
Yeah.
So this is
You're gonna
gonna
have to probably put some water in that and see.
we're gonna have to put a little bit of water in
Need
there.
some humidity.
What's the humidity level say in there?
It's 50.
At 50%? Okay. So we'll probably have to add a little bit of water. We'll have to make some holes in the top because I already know this is gonna be too hot. So there's no way to back the bulb down any further. It's already a 40-watt bulb. I don't think I have anything lower than a 40. I might look in my drawer. I might have a smaller one. I'll look and see. Because if I have a smaller one than 40, even if I have a 30-something watt bulb, it'll keep that whole box warm. So we're gonna turn everything off for a second. But there you go, folks. Kaboom! Thanks for watching our channel. Come back and see me. Hit that subscribe button and the like and the thumbs up. Don't be stingy. Give me a thumbs up. I know a lot of my relatives are going to be watching, so howdy to all y'all in Texas and New Mexico. And I probably would let a few people out, but you know, mostly Texas and New Mexico cover everybody. And there you go. And remember, love your woman or somebody else will. Have a good day. Bye. Couple updates on this thing. First update is we made a hole in the top, let some of the heat out. And then we just took a little piece of the fabric to lay over the top of the hole, just slow the air from escaping fast, keep the moisture in there a little bit, instead of just having an open hole in the top of this thing. The other thing we had to do is we had to change the bulb out inside because the 40-watt bulb made this a habitat for desert creatures. We're talking a rattlesnake could live in there. It was 130 in this little box, believe it or not. I didn't think it would get that hot, but it was 130 degrees. So back that down just a little bit from the 40 watt, we went down to the 11. Just this little bulb. I believe this is a bulb for the inside of a refrigerator. So that's probably what you want to use. The other thing I have is, you guys saw me put in this hose to put water in here without opening the lid. What I did is I got another little piece of, this came off some of that spray foam, if you guys know what that is, to insulate around windows. You know, it hooks on there, screws in, sprays foam. I had an extra one laying around, so I just drilled a hole in the lid. I still have to glue that in there, or hot glue it. I'm gonna leave it like that. Then when I want to fill it up with water, all I do is just insert it in there a little bit. I'll squeeze the bottle until I get the desired amount of water in there, and we'll be all good. Anyway, if you want to keep desert creatures in there, just get you a 40-watt bulb. You can go to 130 in one of these bad boys. You can probably put aluminum foil in there and give the lizard a tan. But we didn't need it quite that hot, so we put that, and then we put the little flap that we put on there is the same. It's that fabric for inside the cabinets. So we just cut a little square. We'll just throw it on top like that. Just let it lay there. And I think we're going to be about the temperature we need once we get it up to temp.
Yep,
What's it
right
sitting at
now
right now?
it's at 97, almost there, with 42% humidity.
Yep. So this little, yeah, you show them the hole in the top here. I just kind of round
Yep.
hole in the top, but that lets too much air out quickly. So just putting this on there slows the air from getting out. And when you have moist air in there, that's going to stay warmer too. So that should get us the right temperature. So hit the like button, subscribe to Elliott Farms, and peace out. And remember, love your woman or someone else will.